Hello beautiful people, it's your girl Liz here, back with another video. Last night I watched Love is Blind After the Altar. Frankly, I will never get those 2 hours back. Season 3 honestly stressed me out because of the Zainab and Cole drama. She is very triggering for me, as she has been for a lot of other people. So it was hard to watch this again. So I'm just gonna go through the couples and just basically tell y'all what's going on with all of them so you don't have to waste your time. So we'll start with Alexis and Brennan. Alexis and Brennan are still together. Their marriage seems to be going well. They said that at some point they had some kind of hard time. I guess when the show wrapped filming, that they had a bit of a rough patch. But then they decided to still push through and stay together. So this little reunion is centered around Alexa's birthday party. It's really stupid because it's like, why don't y'all just have an event, a mixer? You know, why do you have to pretend like it's hers and she's like, I'm just gonna invite everybody, when you hate Cole's guts? So you're only inviting him because the producer said if they center it around you, you know, you're gonna have to invite him. Anyway, their marriage seems to be going well. Alexa's father made a comment about how Alexa definitely wears the pants in the relationship and that Brennan needs to even that out, but it's not gonna happen. I don't know if she's like that in all her relationships, but at least with him, she definitely wears the pants. She is a ball crusher. She talks over him. She is the face of this relationship, and he doesn't even care. Like, it doesn't seem, you know, he seems like the type of guy that just needs someone to be telling him what to do at all times, which is just repulsive, honestly, to me personally. So their relationship seems to be going fine. Yeah, so they had Alexa's party. She looked amazing, by the way. She always looks really good. Her birthday outfit was fire, but I just don't like her because of, she's, like I said, a ball crusher. She's just like a bulldozer, like a bulldozing ball crusher. Bulldozing in the psychological sense. People who just like, they're just like take down anything in their way, pretty much. Next couple, Bartise and Nancy, obviously no longer together. It seems like they did have some physical hookups since the end of the show, and they were trying to be friends, but it was very obvious that Bartise just wants to be friends, maybe with a little tail on the side, and Nancy wants a little bit more. Like, she's kind of waiting for him to come around and like to see that she's an amazing person, but it just doesn't happen, and everyone keeps encouraging her to cut him off, pretty much, including Colleen and what's his name. Eventually she decides that she is gonna stop messing with him, being his friend, and at the party she lets him know that as much, and he was not happy about it. He's like, people are in your ear, people, which is like, toxic guys love to say that someone is in your ear convincing you to do the right thing, pretty much. So yeah, she decides that she's not going to be friends with him, and so their friendship ends. Apparently also during it, at some point, he was being mean to her, like he cut her off. He was just being not a nice person. So she finally decided to listen to people and cut him off. Next couple, Matt and Colleen. So Matt and Colleen are still together. They're still not living together. Everyone on the show thinks this is crazy, thinks that you guys should just, if you guys are not living together by now, you should just break up. But he's saying that he doesn't want to end his lease. It's going to cost him like $5,000 to end his lease. She doesn't want to end her lease. I think she has roommates pretty much, and she said she's going to end up screwing people over. She ends up breaking her lease. So they're still waiting, and their next move is to move into a house. They're been arguing about where to move into a house. She wants to live closer to the city, I believe, and he wants to live out in West Bumblefuck because he wants a bigger house, and she's like, F no. So they're planning to get a dog in the meantime. As for their relationship right now, it is kind of weird. Like, they have this weird banter. I mean, I guess you would call it banter, but like Raven said the same thing, that it seems like they bicker, like all they do is argue, and like I definitely kind of see that. It seems like little passive aggressive jabs. I'm sure you guys have been around a couple like that. You have a friend like that. They always arguing and bickering. Little subtle jabs, little like picking at each other, tit for tat. Just end it already. Like, you guys are just clearly just afraid to just be alone or start over, which, you know, is understandable, but it's like, do y'all even like each other? Something that was definitely a red flag with them for me was that she said that they'll be arguing so much that she'll feel like, okay, I think we need to end this, but then she just she reminds herself that there was a reason why I said yes, like there was a reason why, and so it just makes me stick it out, which I'm just like, that's kind of a crappy reason to stay in a relationship, because at one point you guys were good. So Raven and SK, another fake relationship. You know, everyone was saying that they think that they were just together for social media purposes, and I could definitely see that. SK, like, I don't know, like, I just do not know how to read that guy. I literally have spidey senses about people. I really didn't. I get the vibe that he really liked Raven. Like, he was like in love with her. Like, she's like the woman of his dreams. Like, I could tell that he liked her, and maybe being with her was a good look, but I didn't get the vibe that he really truly liked her. Anyway, his raggedy self ended up proposing to her. So he set up this whole thing, proposed to her. She was crying, she was so happy, and she said yeah. Cut to the next scene. They're like months later, the engagement ended, and it looked like she had just did like a little cell phone video update saying that the relationship was over and that he cheated on her. And I don't know if this is coinciding with all of the allegations that came out about him. Like, imagine cheating that early into your relationship. Like, woo, that's crazy. Sorry for that commercial interruption. We'll just finish up with what happened with Zainab. Like I said, you know, Zainab, she's just always been very triggering for me. It's the delusions, it's the blowing things out of proportion, intentionally lying. I think a lot of her lying was unintentional. I do believe she believes things happened a certain way. Like, she's extremely distorted. Cognitive distortions, which come from, like, you know, a lot of trauma, a lot of criticism, self-esteem, low self-esteem, different things that happen in your life can cause these distortions. I know, because I've had to deal with them. And I was actually very shocked that up until this point, Zainab, I don't think she's been in therapy. Like, this experience took her to therapy. Like, everybody can benefit from therapy, but I'm really shocked to hear that she's never went. But I do recommend this book if anyone else struggles with cognitive distortions. This is a cognitive behavioral therapy workbook. I have some work to do in here still. Just for an example, it breaks it down and how you basically change your thinking patterns. I'm a failure, I am unlovable, I am worthless. Common distortions are should statements, personalization, fortune telling, mind reading. You know, her thinking that she knows what Cole meant. She would hear something that he said, like, oh, you're gonna eat those two cuties, and it goes through this filter in her brain that says, why is he asking me this? He must think I'm fat. I'm fat. People have always said I'm fat. My mother said I'm fat. Da da da. It just goes through this machine and it comes out like, why would you say that? You know? So this book breaks it down so you can break down these thoughts. Zainab talked about having eating disorder. People with eating disorders have a lot of cognitive distortions. And it talks about it here. When I'm tempted to binge eat behavior, I can take a walk, journal my feelings, take a soothing bath. You know, gives you different things. So I recommend this for her and anyone who may struggle with that. Her role in this little after series was a bit of a backseat. Her and Cole, after much, I would say, filibustering, he kind of went around and talked to different people. He eventually did talk to her. Oh, I will say he did have a talk with Brennan which completely and totally obviously rubbed me the wrong way. It was nothing but Brennan talking down to him, and you did this and you did that, you know, just being a total mouthpiece for Alexa. It definitely seemed like he was just trying to get like pats on the back, I guess, for like, I just don't understand why he was coming so hard at Cole, especially with, you know, the allegations that have come out against him. Maybe that's why. It was definitely like a thou doth protest too much, methinks type of moment. I don't understand what's up with him. So eventually her and Cole did have a talk. I mean, after they had drank themselves, you know, to calm down. She was drinking, and it was a bit cringy because she was like, yeah, I gotta look good, like I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna be so hot, like I'm gonna have like, you know, like she was really trying really hard to look as good as I don't know, as possible. Like she was talking like she might fall back into what she, I don't know, it was really weird. I'm like, you really was thinking that you was gonna potentially fall back into something with him after you done humiliated, embarrassed this man, turned all these people against him, sent flying monkeys at him, just like totally tried to destroy his entire life. It was really weird. And so they eventually had a conversation. I was surprised how held back she was. I don't know, it could have been the editing, but their conversation didn't really last very long. There was no accountability on her part, of course. There never was since we watched the show. Like Cole definitely came off like he just really didn't want to fight with her anymore. It wasn't like we're not going to debate and hash out these things. With Brennan too, I'm actually really surprised. With both of them, he just kind of fell on the sword. I don't really want to fight with y'all anymore. I don't want any beef. I don't want any drama. Like, I just want it to be, you know, amicably done. And so she was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, you could tell she wanted to say some stuff, but like he was like, I thought that we were going to continue dating afterward. And she's like, you really thought that, Cole? You really thought that? And it's like, y'all had the conversation that she was going to say no. And like, she wouldn't own up to the fact that she said some really horrible, nasty things at the altar. And he was telling her, I'm just very confused because you said these horrible things that like I destroyed you and this and that, but then you're also saying I would do it over again, I would do it with you, I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. So it's not really making sense. You said he single-handedly destroyed your self-esteem. He didn't. You already had that problem long years before. You're saying he basically gave you an eating disorder. Verbal, mental, and emotional abuse. Like, these are very intense, serious allegations to make against someone. To say he did all these things to you within 2 months. 2 months, he systematically shattered your self-esteem. It's just not following. So he brought up these things and she was like, well, Cole, did you even pay attention to the nice things I said? Like, how the hell, what nice things can you really say after you done said all of that? To hell with whatever nice thing you said, that you don't think I'm a bad person. I don't think you're a domestic violence perpetrator. You are just that to me, you know? Like, so she didn't own up to any of the things, and he was confused because 1 second you're saying that and the next second you say, so which one was it? Anyone who's been in an abusive relationship, I think most people would not say, if I could, I would do it all over again. Like, I don't think anyone would say that. I've been in one. No, I would not do it over again. In fact, I really wish that I never had met him ever in my life. Who would really say like, I don't regret anything. Like, I don't regret you abusing me for years. Like, I would do it all over again. It just doesn't make any sense. She also said that her DMs are open at least like 5 times. So she's looking for people to message her, I guess. If you're into that, you can go ahead and do that. Anyway, that wraps up the After the Altar, Love is Blind After the Altar. This season was so messy. It was just fun. You know, we love a good messy reality TV show. Yeah, I was just a little bit triggered too much. Like, woo, Netflix, you got me there. If you watched After the Altar, let me know in the comments what you thought about it, if you agree with any of my opinions. And if you didn't watch it, I'm glad I was able to fill you in. Literally, don't waste the 2 hours. It really did feel like a waste of time, honestly. But anyway, thanks. Peace.